What up, YouTube? I'm back. So I really like this week's episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. It was really good in my opinion. We got introduced to some new characters, but there was nothing new information wise for the story, but I still like this episode a lot. We got some combat, some fights. We got introduced to some new characters, so I really like this episode, man. It was great. So two of the characters that we were introduced to in this week's episode is this dude right here. His name is Todo, and we're going to talk about him a little bit later in the review. And then there's this woman right there. Her name is Mai, and she's actually Maki Zenin's twin sister, which is interesting. If you remember well, Maki is actually the second year with the green hair and glasses, so that was pretty cool, a pretty cool reveal. I really like that, and I actually really like her character design with her dress. She's a cool character, man. I really like her actually. But now we're going to talk about Todo actually because he's a pretty interesting character too. He actually started to fight Fushiguro because he doesn't really like Fushigoro's taste in women, which is kind of silly. He doesn't like Fushiguro because he's boring, he said. So I thought it was a silly opportunity for him to fight Fushiguro, which is okay, but it was silly, man. But we got to see him fight, so that was great. He's actually pretty strong. He only uses his curse energy against special grade curses, which is interesting. It reminds me a little bit of Itadori because Itadori is physically stronger than a lot of people, and that seems like it's the same thing for Todo. So he was only using his strength against Fushiguro and was beating the hell out of him. So that was interesting. It was really cool to see. The animation, as usual, was great. I really liked the choreography of the fight, so that was cool. We didn't really get to see Nobara versus Mai. The only thing that we got to see was Mai behind Nobara at some point, and then in another scene, there was Mai holding a gun to Nobara's waist, and then later in the episode, it seems like Nobara was down with kind of wounds that wasn't really internal or external. We didn't get to see wounds. She was hurt, but it was interesting, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the review. Another thing that we got information from is that last year there was an unprecedented Jujutsu terror attack, and it seems like the one that did this attack was one of the villains that we were introduced to. His name is Getu or something like that. So he's been doing that for a while now, and during that attack there was a lot of curses. So one of the Jujutsu sorcerers that was there was Todo, and he actually destroyed a lot of curses by himself. One special grade, I think, and others for a grade one curses. So that was impressive just to show us how strong Todo actually is. Now, my favorite moment of the episode is when Toge, one of the second years, came in to save Fushiguro from Todo and remove his collar and just said, "Don't move" to Todo, and Todo stopped moving. That was quite impressive. And now we know why Toge only uses Salmon or other names like that to talk, and never removes his collar, because when he says something, the other person is gonna do the same thing that he says. So it seems like that's his curse power. He has some signs or curse marks on his mouth and his tongue, so that's quite interesting. But yeah, I'm really wondering how does it work, because I'm wondering if he says yes, what does it do? So I'm quite interested in his character. I think he's gonna be one of my favorite character in the show because he's really interesting, man. I really want to know how his curse power works. But this moment of the episode was so cool, man. It was amazing. It was my favorite part of the episode by far. After that scene, we got to see a sibling reunion between Mikey and Mai. I thought that this scene was great because we got some new information about both of them, and we got to know how and why they kind of are jujutsu sorcerers. And one of the things that we learned is that Mai actually can only imbue object with cursed energy. That's the only thing that she can really do with cursed energy. And then we also learned that Maki, the one with the glasses, can't really use cursed energy. The only thing that she can do is use cursed objects like the one that Guju Sensei gave to Itadori, I think, in the second or third episode. So I thought that was all pretty interesting. I really like that scene because we got some more information about Maki, which, she's one of the secondary characters that we know the most right now. So I really like that, and we got some information about her twin sister. She's I'm not saying that she's stronger, but she can actually use curse energy. So I really like that. We also know the reason why Maki wants to become one of the best jujutsu sorcerers, and it's because she wants to take it to the face of her family, because they've been kind of looking down on her because she can't use curse energy. So I really like that, man. I really like the information that we got from Maki. One thing that I wasn't really sure about is if Mai and Todo are part of the same school as Maki, Fushiguro, and Nobara, or if they're part of the other school that they're going up against in a month. I think it's the latter, but I wasn't really sure. So let me know in the comments down below. Another scene that we got in the episode was Gojo Sensei talking to the principal of the other school, Kakuganji, which he's also part of the elders that takes the decision for the Jujutsu Sorcerers community, I'm guessing, and he was part of the people that took the decision to throw these first years Nobara, Fushiguro, and Itadori to a special grade to basically kill Itadori. So they had a discussion, and I thought it was pretty cool. We also got to see another new character. It was, I don't know her name actually, but she had blue hair. I think she was in the opening, and I'm thinking if she's gonna be one of the important character in the show, because they highlighted her in the episode. I really like her character design. I really like her. Her personality. She was a fangirl basically of Gojo, so I really like her design a lot. I just like the way that Gojo went in just to talk to one of the higher ups. He wasn't scared. He was kind of cocky, because he knows they can't really do anything about him because he's the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer in the world. So I really like how confident he was. Anyway, we got a 1 month time skip, which was interesting. I thought that we would see a little bit more training, but it seems like it's already there. We're going to see the exchange kind of tournament in the next episode or two, I guess. But we got to see some corpses in a cinema theater, and it was gruesome. It was kind of disgusting, and it seems like the dude that actually did that was the main villain of the story right now. And I don't know if I said that in the last episode, but I thought that maybe he's half curse and half human because of his eyes that we saw in last week's episode. I thought that maybe he's half curse and half human. So I thought that was pretty interesting because then while he was walking in the alley, another dude saw him. The thing that I thought was really, really interesting is that the villain, which I don't remember his name, so my bad about that, he said, "You can see me." So it seems like he's really a curse or something, or half a curse, half a human. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And it seems like because this kid was able to see him, maybe he can become a Jujutsu sorcerer, or maybe the villain is going to kill him. I don't know, but I thought that scene was pretty dope. So we'll have to learn more about that villain because we really don't know a lot. We got to see Itadori. It seems like he's gonna fight some curses in next week's episode with another Jujutsu sorcerer that probably Goju Sensei trusts. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, man, there was a 1 month time skip, which I can't wait to watch how Itadori became stronger in this 1 month. It's gonna be interesting. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Let me know what you think is gonna happen next. I do Jujutsu Kaisen reviews every Saturday, not Saturdays, Fridays. So subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things like One Piece reviews on Saturdays, and then Boruto Naruto Ninja Generation reviews on Sundays. It's coming back because there's some big things coming for the Boruto Naruto Ninja Generation anime. There was a big news about them adapting another arc of the manga in the anime starting in December. So I'm gonna talk that on about that on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And then in the next few months in December and January, there's other animes coming to my channel like the final season of Attack on Titan, which is gonna be amazing, like the rest of the series. Then in January, there's The Promised Neverland, which the first season was great, and Dr. Stone, which also the first season was great, you know. So stay tuned for all of that. My schedule will be pretty hard because of school and everything, so I'll have to manage, but I can't wait for all of that to come back, man. But follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, and like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.